DR Congo's Electoral Commission says it's registered around 46 million voters for the December polls. However, it's emerged that there could be millions of duplicate entries in the register. Election officials have been quoted putting the figure at about 6 million duplicates. This, coupled with the fears that the upcoming polls may not be credible, is causing serious concerns. But the head of the Electoral Commission remains optimistic.
When we talk about cheating, we can cheat with or without a machine, so the problem doesn't reside with the machine but elsewhere.
The unveiled voter register will form the basis of seat distribution in local elections due to be decided in May. The country is still struggling to contain a raging armed conflict in its vast, resource-rich east, which is still under the sway of multiple rebel groups. Leslie Mirungu, CGTN.
On to Sierra Leone now, where new President Julius Maada Bio is embarking on setting up a government. But he faces several challenges, one of which is a parliament that is dominated by the All People's Congress members. The second is that the country is deeply polarized. Susan Mongeli is in Freetown and is speaking with locals about their expectations.
After months of politics, the dust has begun to settle. Expectations are high among ordinary citizens that President Julius Maada Bio will deliver on his promises.
Look at the health centers, because when you go to a hospital now, you have nothing like that, there's any facilities in the hospital now. Number two, to look at them, that those people, these corruption people.
The election has left a polarized country in its wake.
The election left us with a polarized society, meaning we're divided along political line, I wouldn't say ethnic line, but regionally correct. So we need to have a president who can unite us. We need a uniting force.
Outgoing President Ernest Bai Koroma steps down after a decade in power. He will be remembered for maintaining peace after the civil war.
So issues around national inclusion, issues around ensuring that everyone becomes part of government, not a southeastern government, a northern government, or a western government.
Extreme poverty remains pervasive in Sierra Leone. The country ranks near bottom in international rankings for health, education and development. Corruption among government officials is endemic.
The most important area of work that is needed by the current administration is the fight against corruption. There were big scandals on Ebola, the mudslide funds that people felt were chopped. And because of that, we saw about 20% of votes in the western area that was lost by the ruling party.
Expectations are that Maada Bio will turn the country around within months and provide jobs for the overwhelmingly young people. But peace and stability remains the biggest concerns. The new president sets out to name his cabinet. Many Sierra Leoneans are keen. They want a government of national inclusion, one that is independent of political party affiliations in order to restore national cohesion and bring about development. Susan Mongeli, CGTN in Freetown, Sierra Leone.
Ethiopia is set to hold the 7th edition of the Tana High-Level Forum on Security in Africa. This is an annual meeting that brings together African leaders and stakeholders to engage and to explore African-led security solutions. This year's theme is ownership of Africa's peace and security provision, financing and reforming the African Union. The Rwandan president, who is also the current chair of the African Union, is set to be the keynote speaker. The summit's theme is set to echo the AU's commitment to self-sustainability and independence.